This is the Virginia Beach Police Department. You're going to be tested physically. You're going to be tested emotionally. You're going to be tested psychologically. And we absolutely are going to test your integrity. Nothing will be given to you. Period.
Now our team coverage takes us to Virginia Beach. A lot of people there haven't had power all day.
All these people clearly got stuck and have just abandoned their vehicles.
For Hurricane Matthew, we were assigned as part of the relief team for Operation Blessing, helping out families and individuals whose homes were devastated by flooding, by the damage that Hurricane Matthew brought.
My name is Jody. I serve as the Vice President of U.S. Disaster Relief and Programs for Operation Blessing.
We did anything from taking out drywall, taking out floors, moving furniture in and out. Anything that the homeowner needed, that's basically what we were there for.
Whenever you go into a home, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to introduce yourself to the homeowner.
When we were driving on the bus and we drove through our first neighborhood, I was sitting on the window side and I remember looking out the window and holding in tears. I could not believe what I was seeing. I felt like we were in like a third world country. There's everybody's stuff on the street and all I knew was, holy crap, like they do need help.
From the moment we pulled up to the house, I could see the relief, one, because they're getting help, period, but two, also to see that it's their own police department coming out to help.
As soon as she saw who I was and I explained to her why we were here, she was in tears. So let's do what we can to get her at ease.
It was one of those moments where you realize like someone is feeling helpless and you're that saving grace for them.
I figure we can kind of tear up the floor and move this around us as we pull stuff up.
We were struggling a lot before that with the being individuals and not really coming together as a team. It was nice because we got to kind of be with our MPOs a little bit more. They were more open than they had ever been before, and I think it was just because of the unique situation.
Look, check it out. I kind of idolize MPO Philippone. I see what he's done, and kids come up to him in communities where there isn't a total huge respect for police, and he has earned that.
He said, well, I want to be a leader in my community. I said, you know what you can do? You can clean up all that trash that y'all left behind. Because when the kid walks to the bus stop the next morning and sees that trash on the ground, that is what that kid thinks that his neighborhood is about. When I walked back around, all that trash had been picked up. The van was gone. The next day I saw him, I tried to get out and shake his hand on the corner. He was with his friends. He wouldn't shake my hand, but he gave me a fist bump, so I'll take that. Community policing, to me, is where the job is at. If we are really honestly saying that we're protecting and serving, that's one way to serve, through community involvement.
MPO Philippone and I have a long relationship and career together. We were actually partners on COP for the first 2 years that I was there. And so we have a bond like no other. When you work that close with somebody in the environment that we work, you form that relationship that is almost undescribable.
Filippo comes in Friday afternoon and we're all pretty in the dumps. It's been a long week. And he's like, you guys are doing fine. You should be proud of yourselves. We're proud of you. We want you to do well. And I was like, I needed that.
When you lose a week, you gotta find a week's worth of extra space in an already tight schedule. And so when that happened, I actually encountered a lot of personal difficulties as far as childcare went. Just feeling like I could be present as a parent outside of work. And the squad leaders, they took me aside and they said, look, we noticed a drastic change in your performance and your behavior. Is everything all right at home? And I explained to them what was going on. They said, we can deal with that. You gotta understand that this is the nature of police work. And so instead of just scaring me with all that, they actually gave me the resources and the tips and the tricks and the hints on how to deal with that when the time comes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, thank you.
I think it's a shame that it interrupted our training the way it did, but I think it was really a great opportunity, especially with public's opinion of police.
And I think it was like our second or third week in the academy, we were doing traffic direction. We're kind of lined up waiting to get our turn to go out into the intersection and practice directing traffic. And a school bus full of kids drove by. And we're waving, we're like, hey, and they're like, you. And we were like, okay, bye. And that was our first experience just wearing a BBPD traffic vest. Like, you don't even know me.
Through the public eye, police officers are viewed through some as heroes, but others absolutely hate police.
I've experienced hate from my sexuality all my life. And so someone feeling some type of way about me who doesn't even know me, it's not something that I'm a stranger to, you know, but I know that it does affect some of my classmates.
Some people question me on the route I've taken. It's a little nerve-wracking because I'm like, everyone's so quick to like go on a rant and tangent about things, but it's like, what are you doing to make a difference about it? Just me being able to like apply to police department and get accepted and then like going through the process, you know, be able to talk to those females that are younger and let them see that, okay, like this is a black female officer. She's not what the media is portraying.
The academy has been a lot of fun, actually, because you could sort of divide it into two different categories. You have your knowledge, where you're learning stuff in the classroom, and then you've got the skill-based stuff. You have your driving, and those are just, I like to think of them as like movie star weeks.
I'm the driver training coordinator responsible for all driver training for certified officers, recruits, as well as other outside agencies.
All right, turn them on.
The Creed's training facility, it's a 271 square acre training site. We do all of our tactical training, driver training, anything that isn't limited to classroom is done here. The car for the officer is their office. That's everything from paperwork to interacting with people. Most of the time they're spent in the vehicle. More people are hurt or killed driving, especially for law enforcement. So I take this position very serious.
Probably the harshest thing we can embed into the student driver is due regard for safety. It's a state law, it's a state requirement, but we emphasize it so much because we are order when there is chaos.
The recruits show up for 2 days of classroom, going over driving principles, vehicle dynamics, the reasons the vehicle's doing what it's doing. Following the classroom portion, it's a week long of nonstop button-to-seat driving.
Driving is huge in policing. In order to prevent crashes from occurring and for you to be proficient, you need to be able to move that car as if it were an extension of your body.
So I look at myself as a very good driver, but driving backwards and being out of your seat and only looking in the back was just not good for me. I didn't like that at all.
Buffing's a biggie. Buffing stands for backing up, looking forward. The best way to know where you're going is to look. This is not Star Wars. You can't use the Force. Plant your left foot on the left floorboard, use your leg, get your butt up out of the seat, turn around at the waist, and then at the upper torso, and look out the back window.
I love driving. I've built my own car, so cars, I was like, this is my thing. And then we get there day one, and like they got all these rules about golfing, and I'm like, what's golfing? I've never even heard of that.
That first day where we were just backing up everywhere, I must have hit just about every cone on that track at least once.
Some of the horns didn't work, and you have to beep when you back up. So I would just scream it out the window for everyone to hear. Beep! No matter what I did, people always made sure I got that car. Beep!
Beep!
We want the recruits to enjoy themselves, but it's also a learning environment.
I feel like I'm about to nail something.
Simple techniques that we offer the student driver from shuffle steering. What it allows for us to control that vehicle during a turning movement or even straight line driving and just gripping the wheel in the event of an unknown occurrence.
Shuffle. Shuffle. Oh, and we missed a gate.
It happened to me one of my first days on the street. Little bouncing ball comes across the street. Here comes little Johnny chasing right after it. Fortunately, the training was embedded in my brain. I was shuffle steering, going the speed limit in the neighborhood. I immediately stood on my brakes, shuffle steered to the left, stopped the car just prior to the child reaching the front end of the vehicle itself. Took a deep breath and was, just exhaling, going, wow, it actually happened.
Horn.
Driving was terrible. There was one course where I could have gotten in a lot of trouble.
The brakes.
When we get into precision driving, they get the hang of the driving in a tight area pretty quick. However, when you put time on it, that's where you see it going haywire. And that's where the instructors have to step in and really calm them down, get them back to the core principles.
Get yourself up, Chase, come on. We're moving.
If you can't hold it together and keep your stress levels under control here in a controlled training environment, then you're not going to be able to do it on the street, and that's going to get you killed.
The police corps can save you. It can kill you if you have the computers, you have the sirens, you have the cages, you have the radios. There's 1,000 things going on inside of it, and then you need to be able to drive. You can't go around hitting things.
Get that seatbelt on. Move. Move faster, faster. They need you right now. What is going on, Houston?
Back then I was class leader, so not only did I have to deal with the stress of performing on our driving evolutions, but I also had to deal with everyone else's stress and drama. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just try and focus, try to get through it. And I ended up doing really well.
I really enjoyed driving. I could see myself wanting to go back as like an instructor.
Got everybody? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Out of this group, I still believe there are several that still should seek other employment. Absolutely, hands down.